What's going on, everybody? Danny Burke with Burke's Beat. Two plays for you tonight. One in baseball, one in basketball. We'll start on the diamond out of the West Coast. The Dodgers hosting the Giants. Always fun when these two teams get together. And I'm getting involved with the total. I'm betting over 8.5 runs to be scored. Odds were minus 115, the best I saw at Bet Rivers here in Illinois. You got the Southpaw James Paxton taking the bump for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Paxton's been a pretty nice pitcher throughout his career, had a lot better seasons in the past, and he's dealt with injuries, and that's affected him negatively. And we saw that as a member of the Boston Red Sox in the 2023 campaign that he posted, where he accumulated an ERA of 4.50 and then a FIP of 4.68. Was very susceptible to giving up the long ball, too. Had over a 17.5% home run to fly ball ratio, had issues with walking batters as well. So the Giants, not the best offense last year against lefties, but they added pieces like Matt Chapman, like Jorge Soler. These guys are going to help fill those voids. So I think the Giants will be able to produce enough damage offensively to contribute to this total going over. Now, if we flip it around, we look at who the Giants are throwing out on the bump, and it's a little bit of an unknown commodity here in Keaton Winn. He only had 5 starts in 2023, about 42 innings pitched. He also had a home run to fly ball ratio in that small sample size of over 17%. His ERA ended up being 4.68, had a FIP of 4.37, and a very low left on base percentage of 66.5%. You're going to want that in the 80s at least. Again, small sample size, but does it really matter what kind of sample size they have with an unknown commodity? We're going up against this Dodgers prolific offense that can put damage and harm to any pitcher. So if it's one that mentally we don't know where he's going to be at, going against one of the most formidable lineups, probably not going to equate to a lower scoring affair out of this Los Angeles group. Count me in for over 8.5 between the Giants and the Dodgers tonight. Now let's move over to the association where my other play resides. Also going to be a total, but we're going to focus on one team specifically, that being the Atlanta Hawks over their team total of 109.5, minus 120, the best juice that I saw here in Illinois. Now, I tweeted last week, if you find me, yes, right here, fading the Bulls, punch me in the face because it just hasn't worked. And I guess I'm a sucker for punishment because here I am doing it once again in a little bit different capacity. Look, the Bulls could still win. I just need Atlanta to get 110 points or more, which I believe they should be capable of. The Bulls in the last 6 games have a defensive rating that ranks 23rd in the league. The Hawks, and why I targeted these 6 games, is because in that span, Atlanta's been a completely different offense. Second best offensive rating in the league in that span, averaging 120.5 points, going over 109.5 team total in all 6 of those games. 2 of those matchups came against one of the league's best defenses in the Boston Celtics. They have found their groove despite the absence of their best offensive piece in Trae Young. Now, Chicago is on the second leg of a back to back. Tough, taxing game, and a great one for them last night against the Minnesota Timberwolves. But to turn around immediately and play against a surging Hawks team that's competing with you for positioning in the playing game, that seems like a tough setup for Chicago. And in the second leg of back to backs this season, they're allowing the opposition to average 115 points per game. Seems like a good situation for Atlanta, a team that ranks fifth in pace of play. They're going to want to get out, get going fast, and I think they'll be capable of getting 110 points or more against the Chicago Bulls defense. So that's what I'm riding with for tonight. Best of luck with whatever action you got. Again, make sure to follow on Twitter at Danny Burke 5 and the website, burkspeed.com.